This is a Mid-State League Weekly podcast. I'm Willie Stimmett, your host. Hey, we have some technical difficulties with the audio part of the podcast, so we're going to bring you this video version so you can still be updated. I know Facebook, SoundCloud, and I can download these programs on these different channels so you can actually listen to it again. So with that being said, let's get into the podcast. Hey guys, you are listening to the Mid-State League Weekly podcast and the Willie Stimmett podcast, where we cover Harvest Preparatory School athletics. We give you the scores, updates, stats, and all keep you updated on all things Harvest Prep. My name is Willie Stimmett, and I'll be taking you through the next 25 minutes. So thank you for jumping on board, and give us a shout out on all social media at MSL Weekly on Twitter. Facebook.com/MSL Weekly, Instagram at Willie Stimmett Photography, or just simply drop us an email at info4willie@gmail.com. First segment, we'll be talking all things Harvest Prep. Second segment, we'll give you the scores from around the league. And the third segment, we'll be finishing strong at the rim. So with that being said, I'm your host, Willie Stimmett. And we're going to take this quick break, and when we come back, we're just going to dive right into it. This is the Mid-State League Weekly. My name is Willie Stimmett.
Harvest Preparatory School, educating students from preschool through grade 12 with a competitive private education and a distinctly biblical worldview. Our faculty and staff are dedicated to teaching the mind by touching the heart. We offer a blended learning environment to meet the academic needs of all students. Our brand new Academic Research Center is equipped with the latest technology designed for the inquiry-based learner. Boasting a proven track record of excellence for over 30 years, Harvest Prep is dedicated to ensuring students fulfill the total plan of God for their lives. Our graduates have earned over $30 million in academic, merit-based, and athletic scholarships in the last decade. We offer championship athletic programs for all grade levels, led by some of Central Ohio's top coaches. As a participant of the College Credit Plus program, we provide students with the opportunity to earn college credits at the high school level. We have committed to serving the families of Central Ohio since 1986 because our passion is your child's success. We are Harvest Prep. To begin your pathway to prep, visit us online at harvestprep.org.
Okay, guys, we're back. This is the Mid-State League Weekly and the Willie Stimmett podcast. I'm your host, Willie Stimmett. Hey, let's get down. Let's get down right now. Let's get into it. Harvest Prep, 46. Fairfield Christian, 0. Kind of like a repeat of last year. When Harvest Prep graduated 2 outstanding players, in Dan Bangura and Isaiah Mullen, some assumed that the Warriors would take a step back, but Coach Milan Smith, he feeds off those doubts. I like that. I mean, you got to prove all doubters wrong. This team is still legit. So, Screw what the doubters say. I was that kind of guy when I was in high school, and my size and going up against 6'8", 6'6" dudes. I mean, you got to prove all the doubters wrong. That goes for anybody that has a mindset that think they can accomplish what they want to accomplish. Regardless of the height, the size, and what people say, you can do it. Milan said, "This isn't the first time we listened to a lot of people tell us what we weren't going to do. What they don't realize is that we have both a strong system and a strong culture in place where they can understand just about anything we do. 6 of those players on the Harvest Prep team combined, listen to this, 6 players on this team here has combined to gain a total of 2,796 yards on 7 yards a carry. That's the average carry, with each guy touches the ball, 7 yards a carry. And they have scored a total of 34 touchdowns this year. Now, just grasp that for a minute. 34 touchdowns this year. That's without Dan Bangura, the guy that broke all Ohio rushing record. We want to say, Harvest Prep is all Dan Bangura. It's not Dan this time. Dan's gone. But we got a host of other guys. We got a bunch of athletes on that team that's really competitive. Let me give you one. Daquan Owens-Johnson. This guy's rushed for 845 yards and 9 touchdowns, leading the charge for Harvest Prep. I said this, I don't know if he got hurt a couple of games back, but I said this maybe 3 shows ago that this guy could be a 1,000-yard rusher. And 845 is not, he's only 100 and maybe 160, 180 away from 1,000 yards. I don't know if the playoffs count, but that, we talking about regular season yards. That's what I'm talking about. They got 2 freshmen and 6 sophomores from the 24-man roster. Listen, that 24-man roster, and these guys are 10-0. From the 24-man rosters are starting for Harvest Prep, which is riding a 30-game winning streak in the Mid-State League Cardinal Division, play dating back to October 25th, 2013. A 30-game winning streak. The Warriors, who have already clinched a 5th straight playoff spot. Harvest Prep simply couldn't be stopped the last time these 2 teams met, and they easily defeated Fairfield Christian. Listen to this. Last year, they beat these guys 90-7, and this year they beat them 46-0. Harvest Prep. Let me dig into the scoring. Daquan Owens-Johnson scored the first touchdown, put Harvest Prep on the board, 12-0 with a 12-yard run. 6-0. And then Isaiah Mullen, they got Isaiah Mullen. This came from Dispatch. Isaiah Mullen has graduated. I don't know if that's his brother, but regardless, that player scored on a 1-yard run. Then Jalen Davis, 12-yard run. Then Ralph Robertson from Jalen Davis will make the two-point conversion. And then Daquan Owens-Johnson came back with a 38-yard run. And then Jalen Davis came back with a 2-point conversion. Then Nico Sinclair, 15-yard pass from Jalen Davis. And then Jalen Davis with a 34-yard run. And Jalen Jennings with a 29-yard run. And that's all the scoring they needed to advance. And Harvest Prep total yards this game was a whopping 424 yards, total yards. This challenge, I think Milan was saying in the ad that the challenge Harvest Prep would face in 2019, they would be moving to the Mid-State League Ohio division, where they'd be facing larger schools. So and some of the schools that did that division, Whitehall, which was 9-1 this year, London with KJ Price, man, I tell you, this guy is a beast. You got Columbus Academy, you got Grandview, Liberty Union, and Bexley. I think we got Bexley's number, defeating them twice after that first kind of lopsided play. Hey guys, we'll take a quick break. When we come back, let's take you around the league and update you on what other teams are doing. This is the Mid-State League Weekly and the Willie Stimmich Podcast. My name is Willie Stimmich.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. There's just one place where a team is more than a group of individual agendas. It's a catalyst for demonstrating the potential of the collaborative spirit. There's just one place where players, coaches, and fans experience the exhilaration that happens when an entire community rallies behind the school team. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes are more likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. In addition, high school sports help young people in Ohio develop the discipline and confidence they need to be leaders in life, even as they unite communities like nothing else. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the Ohio High School Athletic Association and the Ohio Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Okay, guys, we're back. This is the Mid-State League Weekly Podcast, and the Willie Stimmich Podcast will be do all things Harvest Prep. Hey, give us a shout out on all social media. Just type in my name, Willie Stimmich, and let me hear what your comments, what you got, to comment on it. Anything you got to comment on. You can even some you can update some of your information from your school that you want me to shout out, and I can do that. Okay, going around the league here, Bern Union took on Worthington Christian, and Worthington Christian actually winning this game, but they failed to Bern Union 22-15, despite getting outgained 377 yards to 149 in total yards. Bern Union shook off a deficit to defeat visiting Worthington Christian in the Mid-State League Cardinal division matchup. Michael Harsling ran for 230. This guy's I'm telling you, I've been talking about this guy all year. Michael Harsling ran for Harsling, I guess his name, ran for 238 yards and a touchdown to help give Worthington Christian a 2-score lead. Zane Migrant took advantage of a good field position and converted on 2 of his 3 total completions for touchdown, and Chaz Dickinson, 80-yard rushing, forced a fumble and scored the eventual game winner touchdown on a 12-yard run in the third quarter. The Rockets also forced 3 turnovers and took over on downs on a bad punt snap by the Warriors. I mean, you're playing games now that turnovers, you cannot turn the ball over. And then Worthington Christians were actually winning this game. And but a late surge by the Rockets of Bern Union gave them the victory 22-15. The scoring went like this. Michael King, 67-yard pass from Lucas Hartling, and Jake Thompson with a 2-point conversion, Michael King. Then Michael Hartling, 73-yard run, and Grant Woodfin with the kick. And then that was all she wrote for Worthington Christian, because Bern Union took over after that. Bern Union, Jaden Tolliver, 17-yard pass from Zane Migrant, Chase McCarty with the kick, and then Chase McCarty with a 33-yard pass from Zane Migrant, and Chase McCarty with the extra point. And then Chaz Dickinson with a 12-yard run, and then Chaz Dickinson with a 2-point conversion. And that was all the scoring she wrote, 22-15, Worthington Christian. Bern Union over Worthington Christian. Total yards, Worthington Christian racked up 377 to Bern Union's 149. That's lopsided, but they came out with the victory. Total yard rushing, Worthington Christian carried the ball 35 times for 225 yards, while Bern Union carried it 39 times for 88 yards. Yards passing, 152 for Worthington Christian, 61 for Bern Union. On the rushing side, Michael Harsling with 22 carried it 6 times for 238 yards, 1 touchdown. And Lucas Hartling, his brother, on the passing side, he threw 25 times for 9 receptions, 152 yards, and 2 touchdowns. For Bern Union, Zane Michael passing, he threw it 8 times for 3 completions, 61 yards, 2 touchdowns. And Chaz Dickinson rushed 25 times for 80 yards and 1 touchdown. Fisher Catholic 25, Rosecrans 22. Colin McCready booted a 26-yard field goal with 15 seconds remaining, and Fisher Catholic rallied to defeat visiting Bishop Rosecrans in the Mid-State League Cardinal Division finale. Fisher Catholic trailed 22-14. Caden Starcher ran in for a 23-yard touchdown run after forcing a Rosecrans 3-and-out series. Starcher, who finished with 64 yards rushing, ran 3 times for 14 yards, and Caden McCauley ran for another 8 to set up the winning field goal. Carter Dosh led all rushers with 130 yards for Rosecrans, adding 61 receiving yards and all 3 touchdowns for Bishop Rosecrans. And Fisher Catholic snuck in and won that game. Other scores: Grove City Christian 28, Ridgedale 0. Some of the Twitter feed: Fisher Catholic, the Irish pulled off the victory against Rosecrans. Playoffs likely. Great season, great work by the players and coaches. Now on to the second season. Burn Union, Fisher Twitter feed, 22-15 final. Great night to be a Rocket. Week 11 is coming up next. Grove City Christian, varsity football final, 28-0. Great win for Grove City Christian. These are your Twitter feed, and that's that. So we got to take another quick break. We'll be back. We're going to finish strong at the rim and wrap it up and give you some important announcements. This is the Mid-State League Weekly and the Willie Stimmich Podcast. I'm Willie Stimmich. I'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Dustin Fox. Now, I had a lot of thrills playing football in college and in the pros, but none compared to the excitement of playing high school football. I'll never forget the pep rallies, the bus rides, and playing our rivals before a packed house. Now, for most kids, high school will be the last opportunity to play organized sports, but the lessons learned will last a lifetime. So support high school sports, which helps student athletes become the best they can be on and off the field.
This message presented by the Ohio High School Athletic Association.
Okay, guys, this is the Mid-State League Weekly and the Willie Stimmich Podcast. My name is Willie Stimmich. I'm your host. And let's get on to this last segment. We're going to finish strong and wrap this thing up. Your final standings for the Mid-State League: Cardinal, Harvest Prep 10-0, Burn Union 8-2, Worthington Christian 6-4, Fisher Catholic 6-3, Bishop Rosecrans 4-5, Grove City Christian 4-6, and Fairfield Christian 0-7. As the conference, Harvest Prep 5-0, 6-0. I'm sorry. Burn Union 5-1, Worthington Christian 4-2, Fisher Catholic 3-3. Rosecrans is 2-4, Grove City Christian 1-5, and Fairfield Christian 0-6. That's your final Mid-State League standings. Coming up for Harvest Prep in the event category, November the 1st. Today is the 29th. So November the 1st, the varsity basketball girls will be playing Independence and Independence. November 23rd, varsity basketball girls will be playing Ridgedale at Ridgedale. And November 27th, girls middle school basketball will be playing Wellington at home. And then the varsity will be taking over after that, playing Wellington at home. So those are your announcements for Harvest Prep. And so let's look at some of the brackets as football season is about to, the playoffs is about to start. So here's your final computer ratings. Division 7, Region 27, I believe. Lucas is on top. Harvest Prep is second. Gloucester Trimble is third. Waterford is fourth. Sugar Grove Burn Union is fifth. Kudos to them. They made the playoffs. Fisher Catholic is sixth. Kudos to them. They made the playoffs. They represent the Mid-State League Cardinal. Franklin Furnace Green, seventh. Hannibal River is eighth. Caldwell is ninth. Racine Southern is 10th. Reedville Eastern is 11th. Portsmouth Notre Dame is 12th. Danville is 13. Bishop Rosecrans is 14. And then the rest of his history, Grove City Christian is 17. I think they're out of it. Fairfield Christian is 26. They're out of it. So those are your final computer ratings for Division 7, Region 27. Ohio High School playoffs is about to start this weekend. And I'm just going to run through this before there's some important games. I'm going to try to rep your school if you're in the playoffs. So with Division 1, Region 2, Toledo Stars is taking on Reynoldsburg. Reynoldsburg is in the big dance, so shout out to the 614. I'm just representing all the 614 tonight before we get to the region Harvest Prep is in. So Reynoldsburg is taking on Toledo Stars in Region 2. Westerville Central is at Dublin Kaufman. Olentangy Orange is at Toledo Whitmore. They be on the road. Gahanna Lincoln is at Powell, Olentangy Liberty. Those are some good games. So, if you're part of that group, kudos to you. I'm repping you tonight. Region 3 in Division 1, Hubert Heights Wayne is at Hilliard Davidson. And Hilliard Darby is at Clayton Northmount. Pickering Central is at Hilliard Bradley. And those are your Region 3 in Division 1. I tell you what, all 3 Hilliard schools made it. Man, that's a powerhouse football program out there, I guess. Division 2, Walnut Ridge is at Massillon, Washington. And Whitehall Yuengling is at Dover. That's a long way to go travel to play a playoff game. But shout out to those 2 schools. We rep you. We think you go have good luck out there. I mean, you can win this. You came a long way. You can win this thing. Division 3, Region 11, Plains Athens is at Columbus Bishop Hartley, and Hillsborough is at Columbus Eastmore Academy. Shout out to you guys. Division 4, you only have 1 team that's not in the 614, but that's London, and they're taking on Cincinnati Taft. And I like the kid KJ Price, 5'10". He's rushed 200. He rushed for 340 yards last week on 27 carries against Columbus Academy. This dude's like the next kind of in the category with Dan Van Gur from Mr. Ohio. So he's a good player. Division 5. Let's see who's repping the 614. Nobody. In Division 5. Division 6, we only have 1 team repping the 614, and that's Grandview Heights will be at Bainbridge, Paint Valley. And those guys are 10-0. Paint Valley is 10-0. So shout out to Grandview Heights. Division 7, here we go. Just going to wrap it up right here. This is what I want to get to. Division 7. Region, let's look at the region here. Region 27, that's where all the action is. Hannibal River, we're taking on Lucas. And like I said, you can't take no team lightning in these playoffs. Lucas Isaac, it was the guy that played with Hannibal River. He kind of ripped us apart last year in that first playoff loss, which was at home. I hope that don't happen again this Saturday night. The Harvest Prep they're handling their business. And speaking of Harvest Prep, Franklin Furnace Green, 7-2, will be at Canal Winchester Harvest Prep, 9-0. I guess it's 10-0. Or 9-0, undefeated Harvest Prep. Let's put it like that. And we don't know. I don't know too much about Green High. I know they're in Uniontown, Ohio. That's in between Canton and Akron. They got 37 active players on their roster, 14 seniors. They got a kid named Porter Flynn, 5'6", 175 junior. He's a running back. He can run it. They got a kid named Justin McCoy, number 20. He's 5'7", 139 sophomore. He's a running back. He can run it. And then you got defensive end Ben Timmerman, number 19, 6 feet, 205 pounds senior. These guys will be spearheading that Green High School football team this Saturday. And then some of the other shout outs you got, Fisher Catholic will be at Gloucester Trimble. Shout out to Fisher Catholic for making it. And Burn Union will be taking on Waterford at Waterford. So shout out to Burn Union. Okay, guys, that's a wrap for the day. And give your shout outs to all the teams for the 614 that made it, and hope they will advance. Hope they will play their football, their best football now, because this is one and done now. I mean, you lose, you can go home. I'm going to give a shout out to OHSAA Executive Director Jerry Snodgrass. Give a shout out to Director of Communications Tim Shreve. I want to thank the Ohio Prep Sports Writer Association for allowing me to bring a podcast that will shed light on the Mid-State League Cardinal. Shout out to Harvest Prep Athletics, Dave Wolf and Coach Dave Dennis. We thank you guys. All my social media partners and all that keep me updated on all this stuff. Columbus Dispatch Sports, Max Prep Sports, This Week Sports, Community Sports, 10 TV Wall to Wall Sports, Game Breaker Magazine, and the list goes on and on. I just follow all these guys and just gather up the information. I want to thank you, the listening audience, for even listening to this podcast on YouTube. If you missed any one of these shows, you can recap it on YouTube, SoundCloud, Facebook, or Twitter. So with that being said, guys, that's a wrap. My name is Willie Stimmage. Love you guys. Have a great week. I got 2 fingers up. You know what that means. Peace out.
For the love of the city. All my niggas on the block. 12 o'clock when you willing. 12 in the cops. They want to see me in the cage. I'd rather see me